What's going on, peeps? For the ones that are in here right now, appreciate you guys all being in here. I know YouTube is not going to pretty much throw a lot of notifications out to you guys that I'm live right now. So the ones that are in here, appreciate y'all being in here thus far. Star Trek.
They can't cancel him or Cities 92.9. It's Cancel This with Ty Smith.
What's good, Bloomington Normal? I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. Phone number here is area code 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at area code 309-451-9299. If you would like to see me live in the studio, go over to YouTube and type in Modern Renaissance Man, and you will see a thumbnail that says, Why America Cannot Stop Talking About These Breaking News Stories. Click on that tab, and you will see me live in the studio looking at you. You're looking at me, and we are going to be having a good-looking time. All right, folks. So again, I appreciate you guys all being in here. To all my listeners out there in the Below-No area, also known as Bloomington Normal, appreciate you guys all tuning in and listening to this particular segment of the show. All those that are listening in through YouTube, I appreciate you guys all being here. Y'all know what to do if you're tuning in online. Make sure that if you like the information that we're putting out here at Cities 92.9, give us a thumbs up. Make sure you go over to different people's channel that also put out this information. Speechless with Kev, Cat in the morning. Make sure you go over and check out Cities 92.9 YouTube page as well. Go subscribe over there. That way, if either of us go live, at least you will be able to get a notification from Cities 92.9 that Kev, Cat, or me is live in the studio, and you guys will be able to tune in, all right? Appreciate that. So, as always, before I start my show off, I always hope, no matter whether you agree with me or you disagree with me on the topics I talk about, I do hope that every last one of you guys out there are doing well in your lives, doing well with your family, doing well with your health, okay? Just want to go ahead and push that out there, all right? Okay, folks, so again, you see that the topic that I have on my, if you're tuning in through YouTube or social media, you see that it says, Why America Cannot Stop Talking About These Breaking News Stories. And if you were tuning in through the internet, I had a thumbnail up there that has Donald Trump up there. It has the ones that were debating at the GOP, and it also shows Philly. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with the debate if any of you watched it, okay? If any of you watched it and saw, I don't know if you did, Kev, guys, it was annoying. I'm telling you guys right now, it was absolute. There were some good things that were said, you know, Ramaswamy, some things he said. There was some different things a lot of different candidates said up there, Scott. But overall, the pieces that I saw on there, guys, I started like flipping away. Like I just couldn't do it. It was so annoying. Y'all want to know what it was like to me? It was almost like the equivalence of like some of the kids that I mentor. It was like the equivalent of hearing them all just go back and forth, and nobody was actually trying to come to a conclusion on anything. They all were just trying to prove a point and trying to do the one up on somebody. An example, Christy. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was such a cringe moment for me where, one, they were trying to call out Donald Trump for not showing up because they said he's not showing up because he don't want to be held accountable for things that he, I guess that he might not have done so well while he was the president, right? But Christie took the cake. It was so cringe if you guys didn't see it. If we're able to bring it up, I'll let you guys hear it. But Christie looked at the camera, was like, I know Trump is watching, and I want him to look, so I'm going to look in this camera. You're not here because you're trying to avoid questions being thrown at you. You're trying to duck away and blah, 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 blah. And for that, I'm going to start calling you Donald Duck. It was like a ha, 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 oh my God, oh my. It was such a cringe moment. He felt so proud of himself. I mean, if they would have had like the laughing button there, he thought that he just said something like, ha, 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 I'm so, it was so cringe. Absolutely cringe, folks. And to be quite honest with you guys, the whole debate kind of was like that with me. Now, I got a lot of questions that came in. I got a lot of emails that asked me if I saw the debate, in which I told them I didn't see it all. I literally probably watched 50% on and off. And they were asking me, who do you think won? When we tell you who I think won, Trump did. Trump won. Trump was not there and he still won. In fact, if y'all don't believe me right now, there was this poll that came out. I don't have it off the top of my head right now, but you guys can Google it if you need to. This poll actually showed that although Donald Trump was not there, Donald Trump was the winner of the debate.
It was a Daily Mail poll.
There we go. Thanks for that, Kev. Kev has speeches that gave me the info on that. It was the Daily Mail poll showed that Donald Trump still won the debate. Now, the question that I was asked about Donald Trump being there, not being there. Now, I know that I met the guy, got to talk with the guy, y'all, but it's not like I got his phone number where I can call him and ask him the question. But I would tell you just from my own perspective, why would I show up? I'm just being real with you guys. Why would I show up to a debate when the polls are showing that I'm winning? If y'all want me to be 100% real with y'all, y'all may not agree with this. Does not matter. It's my opinion. The people who are part of the GOP Republican debates, those people are not trying to win presidency. Oh, boy. They're trying to win vice presidency. What? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Trump, after the first debate, Trump actually increased his lead. Okay? No one is close to him. No one is touching Donald Trump. Now, from my perspective, if it was me running for any type of public office, if I'm ahead like Donald Trump is, why would I go to the debate as well? Why would I? For what reason? So Donald Trump can duck questions, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'll give them that. I can say that. It would be interesting to see what Donald Trump would say or would not say. But let's be honest. It's going to all come down. If Donald Trump was to show up to the debate, ratings for them will go out of the roof. Number one, we know there's going to be a thing to where it's going to be a full-on blown attack where I think almost all of them, and not Ramaswamy, I think Scott may not, but I think for the other candidates, it's going to be an all full-on attack at Donald Trump, right? I think that's what it's going to come down to. So, honestly, if I am a candidate and I'm winning according to the polls, and I know that if I go and do this debate, it's going to come down to all of these people on stage, except for a couple, it's going to be about attacking me. They're going to be attacking Donald Trump. And let's be real. I think it's, although it's Fox News that's doing it, but the latest thing that's been happening, with Tucker Carlson and Donald Trump seems to have, be fun to Tucker Carlson. I think that if Donald Trump got up there, I think Fox News would try to pull some stuff like CNN did. I'm just being real with y'all. So I think Donald Trump, if he was to come to these polls, it will be an full-on attack by Donald Trump. But at the same time, I also see something else weird going on there. If y'all don't notice, my uncle, Larry Elder, for some odd reason, they're trying to keep that man from getting in there because he said he knows he backs Donald Trump. Larry Elder comes with a lot. This man has a memory bank unlike anyone I've ever seen. He can jump percentages out and statistics out and sources and all that out of his mind. And he is a huge supporter of Donald Trump. So I think that within itself is another reason why I think that if they were to have Trump on there, they definitely will keep Elder away. It's plain right there in our faces, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump seemed to be the favorite. Donald Trump most likely will be the favorite. I think that if anybody right now, if y'all were to ask me, well, who do you think Donald Trump would want out of those? I don't know. I know it won't be Christie. I know it won't be. I can't even think of her name. Y'all forgive me for it. Kill me over. I don't even know the lady's name that's up there. Definitely wouldn't be her. I think that he possibly would go with Ramaswamy. Then again, I don't know. I think he would go with Scott. I think he would go with Elder. But I can tell you right now, he definitely won't be picking Pence. Like, that's not even no. He definitely won't be picking Pence at all. Not at all. So now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you guys tell me. You tell me why you think Donald Trump should, not shouldn't. You tell me why he should show up and defend himself, defend his record, defend his presidency, defend what he did his first term. Why should he show up if he's winning? Now, another thing y'all need to pay attention to is why Larry Elder isn't up there as well. When they say things to me like this, hey, we have the political party. We know we got the left and we got the right, and they talk about left wing and right wing, and people say both wings they both on the same bird. Now, could that be true? Because there are some people that right now that's red that a lot of you guys consider to be rhinos. Now, I myself would love to know, and I know why, but I'm talking about I would love to know personally from the parties that are keeping Larry Elder from being up there. Why is it there? I guarantee you, though, that if there is someone that's funding Larry Elder while they're up there in the debate, I'm surprised somebody up there hasn't thrown that out there yet either. All the ones that were debating in the GOP, no one has made a comment and say, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Why isn't Larry Elder up here? Why? I think if Larry Elder was to get up there, guys, I think the ratings would go up as well. But I think that you will be able to hear a whole lot more behind the scenes of statistics that will be thrown out there that will kill a lot of people on that stage. Anyway, folks, we're going to take a break here. You're listening to 692.9, the News Talk of Bloomington Normal. Appreciate y'all being here. Mo said there's no reason to. The candidates would obviously attack him. Yep, that's what I think. Whenever Trump shows up as the cash cow when it comes to ratings. Yep. Red, thank you for being in here, sis, and moderating for me. I really, really appreciate you, sis.
Also, by the way, the reason Larry Elder isn't there, it's one of two reasons. It's because either A, he didn't meet the requirements for polling, or you have to get a certain amount of donors from different states.
Yep, he had. You see his little broadcast he did on there, saying how he had everything. He said, and when he submitted it, they didn't tell him, "Oh, this right here is not accepted." They waited to the day of the debate to say, "Actually, this one is not accepted." He's like, "We had it in early," and yeah, it's crazy. Do you have the clip of Donald Trump when he was being interviewed by Megyn Kelly? Which one? When he was asking her, when she's asked him about like what is a woman or the trans thing? I can find that. Okay, yeah.
Give me maybe this segment. I'll give you a thumbs up when I find
it. What is going on, Bloomington Normal? We are back. I am Ty Smith, aka Model Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. Phone number here is area code 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at 309-451-9299. Come and check me out live in the studio where I can interact with you and you interact with me. How? Go onto YouTube. Type in Modern Renaissance Man, and once you do that, you will see a thumbnail of me pointing at some pictures up there, Donald Trump, the debate, and what happened in Philly. And the title of it is Why America Cannot Stop Talking About These Breaking News Stories, right? And you will see me live in the studio being very animated. You looking at me, I'm looking at you, and we're having a good looking time. All right, folks, so before we took the break, you guys heard me give my thoughts on the debate and what I felt about it. And if you watched it, and you came to the same conclusion that I did, maybe you would say something like, I think it would be a lot different if Trump was there. But honestly, I said it again, I'm going to reiterate it. I don't think Trump should go there because Trump would completely get attacked. I don't think that Trump would even have enough time to even answer questions. Because if you guys saw this last debate, it was like the most interrupting, cutting off each other, going over the time. That, I mean, I don't know if I've seen that I don't know if I've ever seen that in any debates. Not that much. I mean, there are times where even if you watch when Trump and Biden went at it, Trump was cutting Biden off. Biden was cutting Trump off some. But as far as cutting they constantly did it. It just became very annoying, right? So now, when I said that Trump didn't show up and they were saying that he would dodge questions. Now, could that be true? I don't know, because Trump wasn't there. But I told you guys I wouldn't want to go there if I was Trump, because I wouldn't want to get attacked by everybody, including the moderators. But then also, they know Trump is ahead, so why would he? But at the same time, don't act like I'm all for Trump and everything that he does, okay? Because I saw an interview that Trump did, and something kind of threw me off a little bit about him. And we're going to try to let you guys hear this segment. He was on Megyn Kelly, and she asked him a particular question, if you guys didn't hear it. So we can ready to play that clip right now, and I want you guys to listen to this.
Blockers and cross.
So here we
sex hormones for minors.
I think yes. I would.
Can a man become a woman?
In my opinion, you have a man, you have a woman. I think part of it is birth. Can the man give birth? No. Although they'll come up with some answer to that also someday. I heard just the other day they have a way that now the man can give birth. No, I would say I'll continue my stance on that.
Which was what? Now, see, I think what gets a lot of people on that is that people seem to kind of be like, oh, wait a minute. Now, I'm going to be real with y'all. Did Donald Trump answer the question that you guys just heard? Did he answer that in a way to actually maybe possibly make sure that some of the people that may vote for him may be trans, all the other stuff, cis, non-binary, crucianary, pedacterium theorem? I mean, I don't know what all the stuff that they are. Now, what I'm saying that for is this. You guys used to say things like this all the time, which we all say what we loved about Donald Trump. He used to be straightforward and blunt. When she asked him that question, it should have just came out flat out, just boom, just hit him with it. And that's what I'm saying. What is going on that makes them answer certain questions a certain way as the political atmosphere is starting to pick up? Because you can find some old videos of Trump where Trump, if he's at a rally, I don't know if y'all ever been into a rally of Donald Trump speaks kind of, freely. And like when we got to talk to him behind closed doors, he speaks very freely. I mean, very freely, right? So what I'm saying is this. There is this thing that gets put on where if they're being asked a so-called tough question, I don't know, and I'm just telling you guys just from me, just my opinion. I don't know why they just can't answer it straight up and bluntly. I'm not in the political world or that deep into it to know why he doesn't answer certain things a certain way. But what it does for an individual like me, it kind of makes me go, like, wait, hold on. Wait, behind closed doors, you called it straight up. Let's be real. Donald Trump, you said that Donald Trump called that stuff complete BS. He said that they are out of their mind. He called them some loonies. This is what he said to us when we were behind closed doors, ladies and gentlemen. That's what he said to us. Now, of course, now let's be real. I wouldn't call people like that loonies or anything like that in an open conversation like he did with Megyn Kelly, but I still would stand on my ground and say a man is a man and a woman is a woman. Whatever they decide to call themselves, that's them. A man cannot give birth. A woman can give birth. A man can never, ever become a woman. A woman can never, ever become a man. You're not one just because you say you are. Period. Now, what would be wrong with doing that? Oh, he might end up ticking off some people that might have been potential voters or whatever like that. But the thing is, who cares? Stand on your square, stand your ground, stand on your beliefs, stand on your morals. What's wrong with doing that? People are going to like you and they're going to dislike you regardless of your morals and your values and your beliefs. They're going to find something wrong with you. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. One of the, I can say this, not just in life, but as far as being like in an open place where people can criticize you openly, I would tell you a lot of my proving ground didn't just come from speaking events that I've done, but a lot of my proving ground literally came from YouTube. Okay, so although you guys are watching me on YouTube right now, some of you are listening on Cities 92.9. I do have my YouTube channel called Modern Renaissance Man. It's a variety channel, but there's this portion of my show on my channel where I will do something called music reactions. Okay, what the purpose of that is? I listen to music that I've never heard in my life. Okay, giving y'all a little bit of background. The way I grew up, all I had was rap, gangster rap, some blues, some R&B, but we never listened. It's just the environment we grew up in. Nobody listened to country. Nobody listened to bluegrass. Nobody listened to Elvis Presley. Nobody listened to rock. Nobody listened to heavy metal. Nobody listened to rock and roll in the environment that I grew up in. So I didn't know who none of these artists are, right? I'm going somewhere with this. Don't worry. Just bear with me. So I get on to this YouTube and I start people start requesting me to listen to certain artists and certain songs. And I would listen to these songs and people would just be blown out of their mind how I reacted to these songs. You know, I'll give you an example. One of the songs I did was by Elvis Presley called In the Ghetto. Now, when I listen to that song, if you listen to just the music and everything like that, according to where I come from, we wouldn't even give that music a chance. But I became open-minded. Let me see what this is talking about. Do I know Elvis Presley was at the time? I knew of him because everybody knew who Elvis was, his name, but I never listened to no songs of Elvis Presley at all. Okay? So one of the first songs I reacted to on my channel was called In the Ghetto. And I began to listen to the words that Elvis Presley was talking about. And of course, it made me react a certain type of way. Now, the reason why I told you guys this story is because of this. I have done thousands of songs on my YouTube channel since. Do y'all know that if you do not react to a song the way that the listening audience expect you to, they will try to verbally dismantle you? Yeah. One song I told people, look, let me give you an example. When I was started in church, there's music that I've been around for so long, gospel music. I've been to conferences, youth congress, church. I've played in so many different church functions. We have these things where we would go and visit other churches within the city. We all have these music concerts together. I've heard thousands of different versions of How Great Thou Art. People, oh my God, you need to listen to Carrie Underwood's version of How Great Thou Art. It will blow your mind. It will just knock your socks off. Now, I know who Carrie Underwood is. She's a phenomenal singer. Now, when Carrie Underwood sung How Great Thou Art, I warned people, look, like, guys, I know this song very well. I've heard How Great Thou Art sung thousands of different ways by brilliant, awesome singers, right? But they still wanted me to listen to it. I went on ahead and I listened to the Carrie Underwood version of How Great Thou Art, and it didn't move me at all. I sat there and I listened, I nodded my head. It was like, man, this is good. Folks, if they could physically harm me, they would have. I can't believe that you reacted. You didn't even react to Carrie Underwood. You wouldn't know a good. These people lost their minds and they went off on me. Y'all can go look it up on my channel right now. How Great Thou Art, Carrie Underwood, and look at my reaction and look at the comment section. Folks got mad because I did not react to it like they wanted me to or how they expected me to. So the moral of me telling you guys this whole story is this. Why not just be who you are regardless? Because people are going to not like you and people are going to probably like you regardless. So you might as well go ahead and be yourself. More of the show when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. You listen to Cities 92.9, the News Talk of Bloomington Normal. Appreciate you guys all being here. Don't forget, all 86 of you guys, hit that thumbs up button if you like what we're doing thus far. Don't forget, double check to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. If 86 of you guys are in here right now and you do not know about Kev's channel, Speechless with Kev, go over there and subscribe to his channel. He's going to put the link in here. Go subscribe to his channel. I know all 86 of y'all in here are not subscribed to his channel.
Absolutely.
Y'all probably are not even subscribed to mine. Half of y'all probably are YouTube, trying to see if y'all can find some way to shut this link down. Y'all waiting for me to say the wrong thing, especially when Donald Trump is in the thumbnail.
Yeah, well, I got to respond to a comment here because it's just really grinding my gears. This one right here. Elvis stole so much from Black culture. That's a patent lie. If you actually look into how Elvis grew up, he grew up around in ghettos with predominantly Black communities in which what he heard and what he grew up on was soul music, was the OG rhythm and blues. And then what he did with the music is he made it a little bit more, made it a little bit faster pace, sped it up, and then created what is now known as rock and roll. It was not stealing. It was just like how any other musician grows up. Like if you listen to any country artist, they'll tell you they listen to Hank Williams growing up, Johnny Cash, and you'll hear that in their music. You want to know why? Because there is nothing new under the sun. It's a Bible verse, but there's nothing new under the sun. Every sound that's ever been heard has already been sung. Every song that's ever been written has already been sung in some way, shape, or form. There is nothing that is 100% original. Everything is based off something else. It is influenced by something else. So if you want to claim that he stole so much from Black culture, that's absolute BS and is a lie. Elvis used what he learned and what he was influenced by when he grew up to make some of the greatest songs in the history of the world, and in fact was a huge advocate for the Black community. A lot of his friends in the music industry were Black musicians that, because of the genuine racism at the time, were not able to get the same success, and very much appreciated what Elvis did for the Black community in exposing white people at the time to some more Black sounding sounds, and really open people up to that side of culture. So if you want to claim Elvis is a racist or anything, then that's fine, but you're just misappropriating history and making yourself sound like an idiot.
And they fired back, Kev. Check it out.
Have you ever thought about not being a biased hack? Well, no, because the thing is I'm not a biased hack. I'll admit I have bias. Everybody does. It's called having opinions. But here's the thing, is if you read, there's autobiographies from Black musicians at the time that literally say Elvis did so much for the Black community and they appreciate him for it. Maybe debate someone. Here's the thing is I read history. I read the unadulterated, the true history. I read the true history. Maybe you haven't. Maybe all you've listened to is biased hacks telling BS that are lies about Elvis. Maybe that's what you've done. Try reading real history books.
Now, would they say that same thing about Eminem?
Some people.
Now, see, y'all.
See, that's different. I'm talking about
Eminem. I mean, Eminem, just a guy. He was influenced by his environment, and he came on the scene. He started rapping, and he kills it. So I'm just saying. I know a lot of people would try to pull that same thing about Eminem too, saying that Eminem stole stuff. But you know what? When Eminem came and started rapping, we in the hood, we didn't think nothing about it. Said this white dude got bars. We didn't say, oh man, he's stealing the Black peoples. We didn't do that.
You're coming back soon, but I have so much to say about this. If we want to continue this conversation, all right, because I have a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at Cities 92.9. I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299. You can text the show at that same number. Check me out on YouTube by going into the search area, typing in Modern Renaissance Man. And when you do that, you will see a thumbnail of me talking about why America cannot stop talking about these breaking news stories. And before we took the break, you guys heard me giving you the example of people are not going to like you regardless of what you do and what you don't do. You can try to live your life according to how you think people see you, and people still will judge you no matter what. People still will dislike you. And it got really interesting because I told you guys about how I listened to a song by Elvis Presley called In the Ghetto. And I told you guys that I listened to a song by Carrie Underwood, how great they are. And people literally lost their minds because they were upset with me because I didn't react to the music like they expected me to or how they wanted me to. Therefore, I became this butthead. I became an a-hole. I became a dummy. I became a you don't know good music when you hear it. I became all these crazy things simply because I didn't react to the music like they wanted me to. And it brought up a very interesting conversation because I told you guys how whenever I listened to Elvis Presley, he did a song called In the Ghetto. And when I listened to the lyrics of the songs called In the Ghetto, it blew my mind because what Elvis Presley was talking about in the ghetto, I was thinking like, wait a minute. If he was talking about that stuff way back then, and that's exactly how it was for us in the projects and in the hood at the time, I'm thinking like, man, nothing's changing. He was absolutely right. But something got interesting when I started talking about Elvis Presley. We had someone make a comment, and it's going to lead into our next little thing here. They said that Elvis Presley stole his stuff from black people. What do you think about that, Kev?
Well, I know it's just patently idiotic, because if you read B.B. King's autobiography, he literally says in it, Elvis didn't steal any music from anyone. He just had his own interpretation of the music he'd grown up on. Same is true for everyone. I think Elvis had integrity. That's B.B. King. That's B.B. King. A black musician famous around the same time Elvis was. It's
the
idiotic.
Backbone of blues man.
Exactly. And then if you even want to look at it, so you want to say that that Elvis stole from black people. Okay, well, you know how the music that he allegedly stole was played on a guitar, or a lot of it was played on a guitar, right? You want to know who invented the guitar? Christian Frederick Martin, a German immigrant, a white guy.
Uh-oh.
So are you going to say that black people actually stole the instrument from the white people and that stole their sound? No, you're not going to say that. You want to know why? Because people are influenced by what by their surroundings. It's the same idea of the cultural appropriation argument. No, really what happens is imitation is the greatest form of flattery, period. And so if something sounds like somebody else, or somebody does something that's similar to what somebody else did, it means that they thought it was good, that they think that there's value to it, and they thought that they could either add something new to it or bring a new twist to it. And what Elvis did revolutionized the music industry, and his advocacy for African Americans at the time was unmatched. No other artist, nobody with a comparable influence was doing songs like "If I Can Dream." "If I Can Dream," the song being it was a protest song about Robert F. Kennedy's assassination, as well as Martin Luther King's assassination.
Yep.
That directly quotes Dr. Martin Luther King many times to discuss the ideas of a world in which we see each other as more than just the color of our skin. That's what Elvis wanted. He genuinely heard. If you read letters that Priscilla Presley wrote, she talks about how he would be genuinely heartbroken and emotional about this kind of stuff. I see we're getting a caller. I'll handle that, but you can keep going while I.
Yeah, and see, that's what the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, it brings what this did, this rolled right into what we wanted to talk about in our next segment here, right? And the segment that I'm talking about is the discussion of this whole notion of what just got told with Kevin, right? What was just told to me and Kev about Elvis Presley stealing stuff from black people. And you guys, the reason why I say it is this. People got their own opinions on things, right? But do y'all notice that seems to be like it's almost like it's the theme of America. Any type of way that you can get black people pissed off, bring it up. Man, y'all, I'm telling you guys right now, look, if some of these people are watching right now that whose channels I've gone on before and I've been on you guys' panel, no hate, all love to you guys. But there's a lot of people been emailing me, asking me how come I don't come on the panels anymore. Guys, I'm telling y'all right now, when you get to a point to where y'all just begin to say that everything that exists in America was because of a black person, and everything, the reason we breathe in the air is because of black people, but we don't realize because white people stole the air. Every time it get brought up, it's always something about white people stealing. I cannot think every subject, as y'all can see, I'm a little like, every subject that gets brought up, everything that we see in front of our faces, some shape, form, or fashion, a lot of people on these panels will always find some way to say that white people stole it from black people. They stole it from black people. That's been like it's trendy right now. Everything is trending right now with this whole thing about white people bad, black people good. White people superior, black people inferior. White people master, black people slave. Still to this day. And ladies and gentlemen, is that all we got? Is that all we got? Are those excuses, is that all we have? We can't find nothing better than that. We have no better argument than to say they stole everything. Now, the example that Kev just gave right there, he said when he did his history on it, you guys can all do it. Go search it out yourself. You're going to come to the same conclusion that he did. Now, here's my thing though. What happened when somebody like Tom MacDonald, Adam Calhoun, Struggle Jennings, Jelly Roll, somebody like him, Ryan Upchurch, Demon. What about people like them? What about Eminem? These guys that I just named to you guys are all white, and I'm telling you right now, NF, have y'all heard of NF? Whoo! These guys are all white and they bring some banging music, lyrics, especially if y'all look, Tom McDonald is crazy good. Adam Calhoun, crazy good. NF is completely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And these guys are all white. Now, will we turn to that? Now, I just want y'all to think about something. Will we turn to that and say that all those white guys stole their music? They stole all that from black people? No. They, for one, and that's where, like Ed brought the thing of cultural appropriation. What the heck is that? We found some new terminology. Guys, we got new terminology wasn't even heard of before. Y'all remember there was a time there was no such thing as the word selfie. So those of you, I grew up in an era where we had Polaroid cameras. Those of you that grew up in that era where you had to go press the button and they had to count down and you took a picture, or you did hold a Polaroid out in front of you, took a picture. What did y'all even know what we even called those? Because we didn't call them selfies. I know that. We didn't call them selfies. What do we call those? So what I'm saying is new terminology that's coming across. Cultural appropriation, toxic masculinity, all these new terminology that's coming across that never existed. Now they're supposed to mean something. So now what I'm saying that for is this. Someone that see a style of music. I didn't see did anybody get pissed off when old boy came across doing a Hootie and the Blowfish? Did anybody, oh my
Darius
God,
Rucker.
this black man going around singing country music.
Yeah, Darius Rucker, he ended up having one of the most listened to country songs of all time.
Y'all know it.
It's Wagon Wheel is that song.
Big time. And all y'all knew, all I want to do is you. Y'all knew. That was playing all through the 2000s. My God. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm saying is for. When we get to a point where we are trained to do nothing more than look for a goddamn on reason to find something wrong in everything, you, my friend, are a lost cause. Your whole life is going to consist of nothing more than finding and looking for a reason to find something wrong in everything. You are the equivalents of those individuals that I was talking about on my YouTube channel. The ones who got pissed off because I did not respond and react to a song like they wanted me to and like they expected me to. It's crazy. So now we got a generation of young people coming up that they are doing nothing more, that they're trained to just try to find racism in everything, try to find cultural appropriation in everything, trying to find what white people did bad to black people in everything. My God, why does a piece of paper have to be white and the ink has to be black? How come the white paper get all the territory? Matter of fact, the game of pool. The game of pool is a racist game. Oh, yes, it is. You want to know why? What does the Bible talk about the earth is? The Bible says that it's the four corners of the earth. It's the four corners of the earth. That's what the pool table represents. That's why the pool table is green, ladies and gentlemen. Now, all the balls on the pool table, they represent all the races on the earth. But guess what ball knocks all the races of the earth? Guess what ball knocks all the ball? Guess what ball knocks all the other balls off of the earth? Huh? Guess what ball does that? The white ball. How come the white ball got to be the ball to knock off all the other color balls? Because that's showing y'all the truth of what the white people do and what the white people done. And then why is it the last ball that you knock off in pool table got to be the black ball? Why does it have to be the black ball? Literally, that's what people have done. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what people have done. Now, you got black people, I don't want to play no pool. I don't want to play no pool now, man, because that game is racist. It's all about the white ball knocking off all the colored balls, and the last colored ball to get knocked off is the black ball. That game is nothing more than racist. My God, I told you. I told y'all, they will simply, completely find racism in everything, ladies and gentlemen. They will find it in everything. So now we got a generation of people that don't want the truth. They don't want to find out the truth. What they want to be is a bunch of indoctrinated, trained activists for the agenda. That's all they are. And whenever you try to present truth to them, most of them are not trying to hear it. They just hell-bent on being this activist, being loud, finding wrong in everything, and thinking it's going to make it right. And all it's doing, and they don't even know it, they are nothing more than a bunch of pawns to usher in communism, socialism, Marxism, all together. They have no idea. They're just pawns. The same exact game they're playing on a bunch of you snow cone, color hair, social justice warrior white kids. They're playing the same games on the younger black kids in the black community. It's the same exact game. Get you angry, get you pissed off, so you can push their agenda. But we'll hit on this a little bit more later when we come back. You're listening to Cities 92.9, the news and talk of Bloomington Normal.
Okay, you're getting some calls now. You have 2 people on the line, I think. I must have not been clear, but I thought people knew this. When you call in, I screen calls first because we've had dumb people call in, try to talk about things that we are not talking about whatsoever, or they're just trolls that, for whatever reason, are problematic. And so when you call in, you're not calling and immediately getting on the show. You're calling me so I can make sure that you're like a normal person that wants to have a rational conversation. And then I'll put you on hold. And then if Ty has time and we're still on that topic, then we'll bring you on. That's how it works. And so I had a buddy call in that was trying to have the whole argument with me over the phone. I got other stuff I'm doing right here, so I can't have the whole argument with you right now over the phone. You're calling in to get screened, and then we'll bring you on. That's what we're doing. Just in case you were calling, you had a plan to call in.
I hope y'all good thought. Did you good thought?
Please get that.
Huh. I wonder if that was Roscoe that called in. Maybe. Look.
Yeah, I saw that.
I wonder if that was you that called in, Roscoe.
I still have whoever.
Speaking of Roscoe, guys, my MRMIs, have y'all heard from Roscoe lately? Y'all know what Roscoe I'm talking about? The one that got he got the 500 Magnum revolver. I haven't heard from him lately in a long time. I hope he's okay. George still on hold?
Yeah, George is, and you're coming back.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Cities 92.9, the news of talk of Bloomington Normal. I am Ty Smith, a.k.a. Modern Renaissance Man. If you would like to see me live in the studio, make sure you go over to YouTube, type in Modern Renaissance Man, and you will see me live in the studio, being able to interact with you and the comments that a lot of you guys make, which, forgive me, I sometimes forget to read it off because I do know that the listening audience out there in the Bloomington Normal region who are listening via radio, they would like to hear some of the things you guys are saying, okay? Now, with that being said, we're going to go ahead, and you guys heard me in my last little rant that I gave before we took the break, but we're going to go ahead and take the call right here. Caller, you're on Season 92.9. This is Ty.
Hey, Ty.
This sounds like
How are you,
George.
brother?
Good morning. Good afternoon.
You know what? Elvis Presley did sing a lot of. He got the rhythm and stuff from the blacks. We have over 400 different words in our language that all these white people use every day along with the blacks. It comes from the blacks. People have no idea about their history. He did that, and churches rioted almost about him shaking his legs. How devilish it was. Nobody ever said it was the black man's devil. It was their fault. You got guys like Sam Cooke and all these guys. His father killed him. I don't know why, but he's a fantastic singer. You know, you got the Platters and all these black and all the music that was put out by Motown until Barry White decided to go white and go to California and screw all the blacks over. But there never a bad song. You just couldn't figure out which was the best. But the music didn't come. It's a harmony of everybody put together. You know, you'd think they'd be proud the fact that if they thought that this guy copied them. You'd think they'd say, hey, look at us, man. We led the music.
Right.
No, they want to piss. Pardon me, Kevin, can't use that word. Kevin,
you're good, George.
That was okay. Just try to keep it clean, George.
You're good.
Okay, well, Ty used it, so. But no, they want to moan and groan
black
and
man,
complain.
George, classic.
Uh-huh.
I'm teasing. I said, oh, you said Ty used. I said, oh, blame a black man, classic, George. No, I'm
Yeah,
just...
he can do it. I can't because I'm a white. But anyway, when's the last time you heard a black say thank you to the Union soldiers? Only half of them, if only half of the 400,000 that died, were actually believed in stopping slavery. You don't hear one person say anything about that. It's like the Jews. My uncle was 6'3", solid muscle man in World War II. Nothing defeated him. Nothing. He was a tanker. He was military all over the place. He went into those concentration camps where the Jews were, and he bawled like a baby. You don't hear the Jews saying thank you to the Americans that come in here and rescue them. People need to wake up. All the blacks, you need to learn your history. Anything that we do that you did, you ought to be proud of the fact that we did it because you found it. Nobody stole it. They're copying you. Get a handle on what you're doing out here. And that music, they showed up with a school bus, maybe, not even a big one, full of all the equipment, that everybody in the whole place. Today, they show up with semi-trailers with fireworks and everything else. If you can't sing, you make it put a fireworks show on. And when's the last time you heard some black guy talk about Charlie Pride?
Yes, exactly. I literally have him written down right there because he's another guy that on my channel, George, when I reacted to it, this guy, Charlie Pride, I was shocked out of my mind. I'm hearing this man sing, and then when he stepped out, I was like, wait a minute, what?
You didn't know he was black, did you?
No, because I thought he was a white man. I was like, he sounds like a classic country white man. I literally, ladies and gentlemen, I literally had his name written down as a way that I was going to bring it up right there. I have it written down right there. And I was going to say, then when Charlie Pride was doing his thing, did people come out and like, oh my God, he stole it from white people?
Nobody knew he was black, and nobody cared. The ones that did.
Nope.
He never had a concert that was half empty. Oh, I ain't going over there because he's a black man. Now, that wasn't true. They went there, stepped over each other to get in there to see him. I would have. I thought the guy was fantastic, and guess what? I didn't even know he was a black man, which when I found out, I thought that was even better yet. You know me, Ty. You people who live down here don't know a daggone thing about the city of Chicago and the ghettos and everything else. I lived there. I lived through all of this. Everything. I'm 80 years old. Everything you people talk about and complain about, black and white. Oh, we got a socialist country. This country was founded as a socialist country. All the money, all the food, everything went in one big pot. Everybody got a share. Well, you had the old man that couldn't work, so he got a share. You got the guy who did all the work, he got a share. And you got the guy like you got today that don't want to work, he got a share. So after 2 or 3 years, we went to commercialism. But the whole country was a socialist country. People don't know that. You people better wake up. Elijah McCoy in 1872 invented a drip system as patented by him, the child of a slave who came back from Canada after 1865. He was his family's one of the 20,000 blacks that went across, Negroes that went, I hate that word, Negroes that went, not that I own, across the border. Okay? You know, when you're talking about Negro the other day, things up in my mind, look at Obama. Trump made him get his birth certificate in 12. It's supposed to be a perfect copy of it. It says black on it. You know what's wrong with that? The word black was not used till way after he was born. Every birth certificate out there was Negro. It wasn't black. Black didn't come out till the three guys stood on the podium, John and the other two guys, whatever their name was, and put their arm up in the air and yelled black power. Other than that word darky, yeah, everything else, but never black. And so people, they just don't know what they're talking about. They should be happy that the white guy stole their music.
So in your opinion, what do you think?
But he didn't steal anything. Elvis did not steal
anything.
any
No, he didn't
music.
steal anything, but I'm saying that's what they're saying. He didn't steal nothing. He used the same rhythm, that's all. And he went into it. And you call that country and western today. When I was a kid, they called that stuff hillbilly music. It all had a twang behind it, you know, and you hear Willie Nelson singing Okie from Muskogee. We don't do no drugs. We only that guy smoked so much dope he could fill up his bus with it.
So what in your opinion, what would you say? Someone making a comment like that, what do you think they're saying it for? When they say that white people stole this or white people stole that, what do you think their end game in saying that is? What's the purpose?
They're believing propaganda, but you know who's telling them that, don't you? It's not blacks telling the blacks. It's the white people who are telling them, who are trying to get us to have a civil war, which, by the way, Ty, if we get into a civil war, I'm going to come over and watch your door for you, man. I'm serious. I'm not kidding you.
You wouldn't have to. I'm going to go to Chicago, where my family is, where I'm going to the hood. where I know I got way more protection there. So
come on now, you got just as much chance of more being shot up there than you do in this Civil War.
Well, the type of family that I have, no, I don't.
Well, yeah, as long as you're with your family.
Yeah, I'm talking about that family. I'm talking about that
okay.
family. So,
you're not talking about a good weekend between 50 and 75 blacks that are murdered.
I'm talking about no, not at all. Anyway,
Ty, I lived on Lake and Laramie on the west side. I was the only guy safe. I was the only white guy for 2.5 miles at least.
Hello? You what? George. Hello? George, I hope you weren't driving and you hit a dead space. So we're going to continue on, ladies and gentlemen. George, sound like you might have hit a dead space or something like that because it started sounding weird. You started sounding robotic on our end, whatever like that, and you kind of cut out. But anyway, shout out to my friend George. Everybody knows who George is. Hopefully, we'll be able to hear back from him in our in another segment. But ladies and gentlemen, George is really good for coming on here and giving us a whole lot of history. He does have a little funny bone to him when he's telling us these things. But that's my point right there. He made a good point when he said propaganda. Propaganda. It's complete propaganda. Getting people pumped up in their emotions, pumped up in propaganda, propped up in sensationalism. All it does is make people think irrational. Matter of fact, I don't even like to say think irrationally. I'd rather just say they don't think at all. They just go with whatever this media, or I like to call it a medium, pumped into them. And it gives them a certain emotion, and they go out and they respond and they react and they do things based off of nothing more than those emotions. Plain and simple. What is supposed to be the end game of look, I'm just being real with you guys. I'm just going to completely be real. A lot of people that look exactly like me who like to come and say, look at this. We built the White House. Look at this. We did that. We did this. We were the ones that did this. We were the ones that had all the geographical, mathematical, blah, 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 blah. So I say, so then if that's to be true, and we believe that this stuff is passed down hereditarily, what's going on with us right now? If our ancestors built the pyramids and they built the White House and they built all the well-known monuments in America, then my fellow Black Americans, what made us stop? Why have we stopped? Huh? See, that's what people get mad at. See, ladies and gentlemen, being in the medical field, being in medicine, one of my things is that when a patient comes and they tell me about an issue that they have, my mind is going through a whole lot of different things of narrowing it down to what their diagnosis is going to be and what their prognosis is going to be or what regimen they're going to be on to get them better. But if all you want to do is come to me and talk about your symptoms and you have no intentions on fixing your symptoms, you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be done. I can't do it. So when you come, and I'm just telling y'all, when you come and you just want to keep on saying what Black people did and what Black people built and what Black people this and telling me what we were and what we did, I'm like, well, okay, I get what we were, but who are we now? That's what I want to know. I want to fix the now. How do we fix the now? See, they don't like to do it. It does me, look, I get it. It does me no good. And this is why people disagree with me on this. If you look like me, I don't care. You can be white too. I don't think no one should be taught history at all until they get out of high school. You shouldn't be taught history at all until you get out of high school. And I have a reason why. You should be focusing on nothing more than what it's going to take for you to be a law-abiding, working citizen, a proud patriot of your country. That's what you should be focused on from grade 0 all the way to high school. Now, when you get to college and you want to take history as an elective, I get that. But it is completely unnecessary. I'm just telling y'all, and I'll get on it after this segment because we're getting ready to end it here. To me, I feel that it's completely unnecessary to hit on historical things, especially when the truth is not in it at an early age, because they do it for a specific reason. As you can see, based on our youth and how they act and how they are out there public and civilly, you can tell what type of history and what's being taught in school based off of their behaviors. And we'll hit on that a little bit more. You're listening to Cities 92.9, the news that talk of Bloomington Normal. We're getting ready to go into our second segment. We will see you then. All right, folks. Appreciate y'all still being in here. Don't forget, Joe Sereno, Monty Anyal, me Bataya, everything gallery here, okay? Everything Guan Biari. Appreciate it. Don't forget to hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to double check to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you go check out Kev, who's in here producing for me, taking care of business here. This is typically, I'm just being real with y'all. I really appreciate what Kev and Kat does because they know how to do this all by themselves. Y'all know tomorrow Kev is going to be on at the same time that I'm on today, 3 to 5, right? Kev is going to be on between 3 and 5 tomorrow, and he's up here doing all this stuff on this board in front of him right now, taking care of business that I don't know how to do. So I appreciate it because he comes in here on a Saturday and have to be in here and spend 2 hours of his freedom with me doing this, producing for me, screening calls and all that. So make sure y'all go over there and show y'all appreciation as well by going to his channel, subscribing. Do that now.
I love this comment. Who dat Whitey? I'm actually black. I identify as black.
Also, I forgot to tell y'all this. Kevin is actually my son by a white woman.
No, I'm an albino, actually. I'm an albino.
Yeah, well, see, I didn't want them to know all that. Yeah, see, Kevin, I got 3 of them. It's Kevin, and then my 21-year-old, and then my 19-year-old. So, as you can see, he took on more the hair texture of his mom, whatever. Yeah. So, I don't know where you get the whole whitey thing from.
I don't know. I get ready a lot more.
Don't y'all see he has my nose? I mean,
it's the same nose, right?
Y'all didn't see when they busted us out? His mom brought me on Maury.
I guess no. So I've had people in the comments and one of the callers that we had earlier going after Hound Dog, and I've done a little bit of research, and so I'm going to do a video telling the real history of the song Hound Dog, and so that'll be coming out sometime this week.
Please don't tell me they're trying to say Hound Dog is racist.
Oh no, they're trying to say that it was stolen from a black woman, and it's false. But if you want to know why, you can either do your research now or wait till Monday, and the video will drop then.
Nice.
But yeah, so I'm black. I'm whatever I want to be on any day of the week. If that's the liberal logic, right? Is if I can be whatever I want to be at any time when it comes to immutable characteristics. I'm a black woman. Give me all the victim points, everybody. I'm a black woman.
Yes. Yeah, it's the reason why they don't want you to know it until it's the reason why they want it at an early age. And then when you get older, you find out the truth of American history, but then by then it's too late because a lot of the way that you are set to think and what they expect out of you, it's already been embedded and indoctrinated in you that by the time you become an adult and you find out the truth, a lot of things that could have been avoided at an early age, it's already too late. You've already done it. You're already kind of set in your ways, so to speak, unless you go and seek out the truth.
DG, a strong black woman with very light skin. I don't know what you're talking about. You can't even say it. That's racist. DG, that's racist. That's a racist thing to say to me. As a strong, independent black woman. I'm also disabled. I'm in a wheelchair.
Yes, you didn't know that?
You guys didn't know that? I'm in a wheelchair right now.
Yeah. Yep. I invited Kevin out to my house in the projects, and they wasn't fond of him. So, it was a drive-by, and he just happened to be caught in the crossfires. Riding this L5.
Yep.
Got him. Now, yep. Legs don't work or nothing.
No. I am whatever I want to be whenever I want to be. My what do they call them?
Pronouns?
Well, not pronouns. It's my adjectives. My adjectives are strong, beautiful, and brave. And if you refer to me as anything other than that, then you're a bigot.
Misogynistic. I was white too when I was born. I wasn't a dark baby.
No, then he spent too much time in the sun.
Yep. As y'all can see, I've been in the sun a lot. Trying to get this side right here to match the rest of my body, but for some reason it don't want to cooperate. I don't know why. I hold my hands up like this to the sun. For some reason, it won't get as dark as this. The bottom of my feet, too, by the way.
Oh, okay, DG. That's mean. I am beautiful, you bigot.
How dare you?
Yep. Clutching my pearls.
Don't hate on Kevin because he has an elongated clitoris and external ovaries. He was deformed. So don't hate on him.
Yeah, it was from all those abortions I had.
He had all those abortions and everything just fell out.
Yep.
Just fell out and hanging.
So an interesting fact I learned, we're coming back here in like 15, 20 seconds, but real quick, an interesting fact I learned is that if a man takes a pregnancy test and it comes back positive, that's a sign that he probably has testicular cancer. And I have seen biological men that identify as trans women that come out and say they're pregnant and have like a pee stick that says positive. And I'm like, you're positive for something, but it's not a baby.
You better go get your ovaries checked.
Yeah.
Can't cancel him or Cities 92.9. It's Cancel This with Ty Smith.
Here we go. Bloomington Normal, how are you doing on this beautiful day? We are back here at Cities 92.9. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and you are watching and listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at 309-451-9299. If you would like to see me live in the studio where I can interact with you and you interact with me, go over to YouTube and type in Modern Renaissance Man in the search, and you will see a title that says, Why America Cannot Stop Talking About These Breaking News Stories. You will be looking at me, and I'm looking at you, and we're having a good-looking time. All right, folks, so before we took the break, you guys heard me going in about why I feel that history should not be taught in grade school. Now, I know a lot of you guys, it's arguable, but I feel that the way that history is being taught in our public schools right now, for one, is not being taught accurately, is being taught with the bias, is being taught with only a Southern view type lens to it. That's it. And I feel and I think that they should not teach history at all through school, at all, because based on the type of behaviors and attitudes you are getting from students, once they learn this so-called history they're teaching now, lets you know what they're teaching and how they're teaching it in our grade schools. Now, the issue that I have with that is because kids can become so indoctrinated, it can become so ingrained in their head. Let me tell y'all how this works. If I put certain things in front of your mind and in front of your way all the time, if I teach you and indoctrinate you on something a particular way all the time, that will end up becoming in a part of your subconscious. That part of your subconscious, it will become a part of your behavior. Then it will become a part of your attitude. And next thing you know, it becomes a part of your character, which means it is who you are. So what I'm saying, therefore, based off of how they're teaching kids in school right now, this so-called history, they're teaching it from a Southern view and a Southern view only. They're not teaching it truthfully and they're not teaching it accurately. They're only giving it to you from a Southern view. What I mean by Southern view, they're only showing you the portion of how white people treated black people bad. And that's why if you ask the average American from maybe in college all the way down to when they start teaching social studies, if you ask them, what comes to mind when you think of slavery? It's a 90% chance their mind is going to draw up white people enslaving black people, beating them, pouring tar on them, all of that. Right? That's all you're going to think of, because want to know why? That was the only view, that was the only perspective that you were given. They only wanted you to see that way for a specific reason. And it's nothing more than to keep black people victims and to keep black people angry. That's all they teach it for. You just got the answer right there. We can shut this up and shut down the radio station today and leave out of here. You just got your answer. And ladies and gentlemen, someone said, say it again. The only reason They teach it from the viewpoint of white people being bad to black people is because it keeps black people, current black people today. We're the descendants, right? We're the descendants of slaves, right? It keeps the current black people victimized in the mind. It keeps the current black people angry. It keeps the current black people down and so-called oppressed or suppressed. Want to know why? Because if you get a person to believe something that you're pushing out, that person will go out and begin to act and to begin to spread the same exact message that you put into them if you get them to believe it. It's the same ball game that's being played with Christianity. Once a person comes into Christ, they become what we call a believer, right? You become a believer. And then what you do, you end up finding yourself going out and speaking the gospel too, because you felt that you've witnessed, what they call it witness. I don't have to call it that. You're only telling your experience. But the difference is with Christianity, you're going to testify and telling people of the experience you had with Christ. Did y'all hear me? You are going around telling people about the experience that you had with Christ, and you're testifying of that. But the difference is Christians who had an encounter with God or who testify of things that God has done for them, they're telling about their present encounter that they had with God themselves, their own experience. Now, black people, what experience did you have that got you so pissed off at white people today? Black people, what experience did you have that got you so suppressed? What experience that you have, black folks, that got you so disenfranchised? What experience did you have, black people, that got you feeling that white people are supreme? What experience did you have that got you fearful of the police? That got you fearful of the white man? What experience did you have? See, a lot of you guys didn't have experiences at all. You were just told to feel a certain way. Now, if they put a video up in front of you showing a white person doing something horrible to a black person, you're going to be pissed off about it, right? Now, the difference is white people can see a white person doing something crazy, something wrong, something terrible to a black person, and the white people will feel bad and get pissed off just like you. But you know what the difference is? Black people, you're going to look at it, and you've been trained to say, look at white people, racism. White people just beating up on black people. That white person was racist. But you know what white people see when they see a white person doing it to a black person? They will call that white person a piece of crap. They will call them a degenerate. They will call them everything we will call them. But Ty, they're not going to call them racist. Why? Because everything is not racist, ladies and gentlemen. But that's why I'm telling you right now, according to how the schools are teaching you, you will disagree with me and say it is racist, Ty. Because a white person is doing it to a black person. What else would you call it? It's no, okay, what do we call it when black people do it to black people? Huh? What do we call that? Right now, white people can talk about things in dominantly black cities. St. Louis, Chicago, Baltimore, LA, I don't care where it is. When white people see black people committing crimes against black people, guess what the white people call the black criminals? They call them pieces of crap. They'll say they need to be hung. They need the electric chair. They need the book thrown at them. That's what white people say about black people when they see crimes committed against black people. Guess what white people say about white people when white people commit crimes against white people? They say that person needs to be hung. He needs to have the key thrown away. They need to get all the years. They need to get the electric chair. Now, that is part of the reason why I tell you why I think that they don't need to teach history in school at all. Because if you didn't teach that, you wouldn't have kids that's only able to view their current life as a Southern view that they teach you in school on how they view slavery. The way that they teach slavery in school, white man bad, black man victim. If that gets embedded in your mind, in your current world as a black person, anytime somebody does something that you don't agree with and they happen to be a different color than you, especially if they're white, you are only going to be able to present and come to a conclusion what has been embedded and indoctrinated in your mind. Oh, this white person disagreed with me, he must be racist. Oh, this white person being mean to me, he must be racist. Oh, the white person called me an a-hole, he must be racist. Oh, the white person cut me off in traffic and flicked his finger off at me, he must be racist. No, what about that white person that's just a butthead? They're a-hole like y'all call them. They're a piece of crap. But it's hard for you to get deconditioned from that because you've been trained since they started teaching you about slavery. You've been trained all your life to have a perception of one particular way. And that's why a lot of folks right now would be in here right now completely disagreeing. You wrong. No, you wrong. Now, that's why your only defense is to say that, Ty, you're pandering. I'm tap dancing. I'm a coon. I'm a house Negro. I'm a bootlicker. That's your only defense, is to throw insults because you don't have nothing intellectually to say to rebuttal what I'm saying to you. You didn't even know that you were indoctrinated. Most people who are indoctrinated and deceived, they don't know that they are deceived. I forget, was it one of the people we read about, Mark Twain, I think he made the quote, it's easy to fool somebody and convince them than to convince them that they've been fooled. It's the same exact thing right now. So now, if anybody would like to argue that, I mean, you could comment, you can email me, but that's the reason why I say that if that history that they teach you in public school was not being taught the way that they teach it with only one perspective, then you wouldn't have these kids being the way that they are right now. And that's the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, that's the reason why your boy who knows his history, which I know this is going to make somebody in this chat fired up. I already know who you are. That's why I was able to go into that school board meeting and only had 5 minutes and exploded him about CRT because I knew exactly what it was going to do. We'll hit on that after this break, though. We'll be right back.
Here's the Bloomington Normal Forecast on Cities 92.9.
I'm Stack Meteorologist John Weatherby. Dry for the weekend and into next week with lots of sunshine this afternoon. Clear 60 for tonight. Sunny 83 tomorrow. Monday sunshine, high of 83.
You're never more than 20 minutes away from the latest Central Illinois weather forecast. Guaranteed. Rain, shine, or snow. It's your dependable weather on Cities 92.9.
Get your point across.
Hello, Pontiac. Dick Van Dyke Appliance World is your home for the best selection of home appliances, the best in-home service team, and a free 10-year protection plan. Visit online at appliance-world.com. Wow!
Good afternoon. This is Ryan Scritchlow, owner of Scritchlow Concrete Lifting and Slab Jacking. Are you as disappointed as I am about the condition of our roads?
Yeah.
Don't let your concrete at your home or business
Andrea, I
fall
might be able
apart
to
like our
get
roads
you
are.
tomorrow.
With proper care, your concrete surfaces will outlast our roads, and we can help. Give me a call at Scritchlow Concrete Lifting and Slab Jacking, and we can lift and repair all of your concrete surfaces. If I can't fix it, I'll level with you, but I'll always give you an option to fix your problem. So look us up on the web at scritchlow.com. I'm Ryan Scritchlow, and I approve this message. Hey, it's me again. You know Ryan Scritchlow with Scritchlow Concrete Lifting and Slab Jacking? Pretty sneaky to do back-to-back commercials, huh? Are you tired of that bump when you pull in your garage? Or has your patio settled and is causing water to get in your basement? Has your front step settled and now your mother-in-law can't get in your house? Well, with one call to Scritchlow Concrete Lifting and Slab Jacking, we can fix all of your sunken concrete needs. That is, if you actually want your mother-in-law to be able to get in your house. If I can't fix it, I'll level with you, but I'll always give you an option to fix your problem. So look us up on the web at scritchlow.com.
Cities 92.9 is now on YouTube. Search for your favorite host on cities929.com or YouTube to see us live in studio and watch exclusive off-air content. Cities 90.
Sorry, guys.
YouTube.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. I am Ty Smith, aka Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299. And you can text the show at area code 309-451-9299. If you would like to see me live in the studio, go over to YouTube, type in Modern Renaissance Man. When you do that, you will see a thumbnail that says why America cannot stop talking about these breaking news stories. And you will be looking at me, I'm looking at you, and we'll be having a good looking time. And before we took the break, ladies and gentlemen, you guys all heard me going in on my rant about why I feel they shouldn't be teaching this version of so-called history to the school kids because of the reasons that I gave. But before I get more into that, we did have a call on the line. We're getting ready to get on that call right now. Caller, you're on Cities 92.9. This is Ty. Hello? Caller, we're going to be going. Hello?
Hey.
Okay, we have to drop the call. We tried to get that call in, but we weren't successful in that. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, so let me get back into this a little bit, because a lot of people have sent me some messages through the phone, whatever like that. And I know I said I was going to do this, and forgive me for not doing it. Let me go ahead and read some of the comments here. We got Keith Nelson, who said, no, they still need to teach history. Just teach true history, not Hollywood history. Okay, and then we have Larry, who says, God allows us to go through and learn. Let's see, and somebody in here throwing out a little comment here, and we're going to let Kevin be the fire back at this.
Hey, white boy,
it's definitely at Kev. Go ahead, Kev.
Hey, white boy, you're on the wrong scene. I don't really know what that means, but I had a little story for you, Ty, because you're talking about teaching history at like elementary level and stuff like that. And so back when I was in grade school, which wasn't too long ago, but it seems like it's a long time ago because I didn't have a bunch of woke sexuality crap being pushed at me. But when I was in 5th grade, when we were learning about the Civil War, we had probably about a month-long unit on the Civil War in terms of history. And one of the things that they did is, so we split the class up into 2 sides, and every time we would talk about history, it would be history time in our class, we'd split them up into 2 sides. And so one entire area of the group was the North, and then another entire area of the group was the South. And we had to, as teams, elect generals and everything, and like learn the history of the Civil War from each side's perspective and everything like that. And so we were a very progressive class. We had like 2 black kids in the class. One of them, Lontez Dillard. I'll never forget him. Lontez Dillard. And we elected him to be the general of the South, which was really funny. But then part of that also with all of this is we also had to take on a role. And so a lot of people had to learn a role of like General Lee or Abraham Lincoln or something. And then at some point throughout the course is we had to present a 5 to 10 minute speech explaining what the life was like for whatever your role was. And so I was given what was considered to be one of the most difficult roles. I was given the role of a slave. Now I'm a white boy, right? And so I was given the role of a slave. I got a 100% on this project. I came in and I did a lot of research on what it was like to be a slave. And as a white boy, I had to give, in your speech, you had to act like the person that you were. And so I came in, I had jeans on. I brought in a piece of rope and used it as a belt. And I came in like a ragged white t-shirt, and I was I used like by today's standards, this would have been considered incredibly racist, but I felt like I learned a lot having to do it. And I came into class and I was like, well, master, I've been working all day in the fields, and but I knew I had to come speak to all these 5th graders out here. And I just had my favorite belt. I had my favorite belt, and it was like a piece of ragged rope. And I was like, I just had my favorite belt. But I felt like I actually learned a lot. But by today's standards, and by the way that the woke has taken everything over, that would be so incredibly racist to them. But I felt like I learned so much and really had to get into the mind of what it was like. And I felt like I had a lot more empathy for people during that time that had to go through slavery now. And this is why it's partly because of that assignment that I also look at people of certain communities today that complain and say, like, I've heard quotes from people that are like, I played that one with you of Bruce Springsteen, or not Bruce Springsteen. Yeah. It was John Mellencamp. John Mellencamp on Bill Maher that says, most blacks are not better off now today than they were as slaves. And it's because of assignments like that, and because of having to learn through that I realized. And so that's why I think you're right in terms of, if they're going to teach history in a way that makes people not actually understand the history and understand how it actually happened, and actually put yourself into the shoes of what it was like at that time, and recognizing how far we have come as a country, then yeah, maybe you shouldn't learn it at the elementary level. But I felt like I learned a lot at the elementary level in terms of history because of assignments like that.
Now, the cool thing about what happened there, Kev, tell them what school you went to.
It was Prairie Elementary in Naperville, Illinois.
Yeah. Y'all see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He got the good history teaching there. He got the good history lesson there. So yeah, I mean, that what he just did there, that is a good thing right there, because like you said, it gave him empathy for them. He got to learn from it. But at the same time, what I do love about that today, he also get to have a perspective and say, okay, that role that I had to play, do you see any black people walking around doing that right now?
No.
If they are, they doing it on purpose. And where I come from, the way you just described how you looked and how you had, we call them crackheads. I'm sorry. I had to. No, I'm serious. If you stayed in the project in the hood, crackheads look like what the equipment of what a slave looked like back then. I'm telling y'all the God honest truth. But no, this is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. If there's a reason why everyone that came from my era, let's say if you were an 80s kid, you might have been a 90s kid as well. We did math a particular way. But I remember when my sons were in school, they came and they said, Dad, the way you showed us to do math is easy, but the teacher them showed us a way, and it's really hard. I'm like, what? So what do you mean it's hard? All you have to do, like that's when they start doing 3-digit numbers. You know, like 110 plus 120. I show my sons them how to do it. My sons have come home. The teacher said that's wrong. I'm like, no, the answer is right. She said that's not the right way to do it. I'm like, no, that is the right way to do it. They came and was trying to teach our kids something called Common Core. I don't know if y'all heard about it, but Common Core, it was absolutely ridiculous to the point to where they literally were telling some of the kids that 2 plus 2 can be 5. See, no, not mine, not in my house. No, it's not. No, it's not. 2 plus 2 is 4. But Common Core has so many ridiculous ways of doing things, man. We all came together. We had to vote to get that crap out of the schools. We taught them the easy way of doing the triple digits with math or the double digits with math. But my point in saying all that is, if we all had a certain amount of math problems to do, if I gave you to listen and honest, if I gave you guys 50 problems to do, 2-digit numbers, 3-digit numbers, and I gave you the paper, it's a good chance that all of us going to come down to the same answer. Why? Because we were all taught to do math a particular type of way. So what am I saying that for? If you want to know what is being pushed, and not just in schools, if you want to know what a child or any person that you come across, if you want to know what they consume themselves with all day long, let them talk. The minute the young kids that I mentor, the minute I hear them talk, I can tell you from the jump what they consume themselves with all day long. I can tell you what their parents are letting them watch. I can tell you what the schools is teaching them based off of their conversations. And what I'm saying that for, my son, I'm in Florida. My son, he was going to school. He came home and said, Dad, the teacher made us all, I forget, I think like maybe some of the kids were acting up, so the teacher made them all like switch desks, whatever like that, whatever. And he said one girl just had this attitude. And the teacher was pretty much telling her, you're going to go move your desk and sit up. She said, and the black girl my son said, the black girl this was wrong with y'all. You racist. We've been enslaved for something. Y'all had our ancestors enslaved for 400 years. And y'all just. And my son was like, what is she talking about? He just said she went on this huge rant because the white teacher was making her move her desk because she was a disobedient student, whatever you want to call it. But her defense was to jump up and scream at the teacher and yell at her, saying, you only doing this and you only making me do this because you're white supremacy, because you kept our ancestors enslaved and we went through this. That just kills me. Black folks, y'all have not gone through none of this. What do you mean we were enslaved? No, I wasn't. Y'all, they were. See, people get mad when I do this. Man, Todd, I can't believe you up here doing this, man. They had our people for it. They had. But what about now? What about now? See, the thing is, it teaches you, and it teaches a lot of folks, even to this day, it teaches you to have no accountability. No accountability whatsoever. Somebody can't even tell you anything because the first thing you want to be is a freaking goddamn victim. You're a victim to the white people, then you become a victim to me. No, man, see, it's different. The only reason why no, bullcrap. Don't give me this. The only reason why you was able to. There is no only reason why. There's many reasons why. Because I decided to do something with myself. I didn't want to be in the projects anymore. I wanted to be married. I wanted to have a family. I wanted a really good wife. I wanted those things. And guess what I did? I went for those things, and that's how I obtained them things. So it kills me when y'all try to make up a goddamn excuse and try to say, I got lucky. What kind of junk is that? Oh, I know what it is. It's the mentality that you still have. You have a slave plantation mentality. Tyler, he gets lucky. He escapes from the he escapes from the South. He gets lucky. No, Negroes, you're free. You free. Just go walk up north. We not enslaved anymore. No, I heard that if you goes up north, they do the same up there. No, it's over. More of the show when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate y'all being here. Don't forget to hit that like button if you haven't hit it already. There could be new people that came in on this segment. Don't forget to go over to Kev's channel, Speechless with Kev, Kat Peterson as well, and check their channels out. Go subscribe to them. Kev's going to be on tomorrow from 3 to 5. Make sure y'all come and check the show out.
Yeah, my name's Kevin.
He came in all deep in. I'm Batman.
Wow.
My name's Kevin.
My name's Kevin. Now I can change my voice a lot, man. Bring it high when I want to. I can bring it low. Sweet chariot.
I couldn't stand that song. Whenever they would do that, we would just be like,
swing low.
We would be like,
sweet chariot. Let's see. We got a caller.
Cities 92.9. This is Kev. How can I help you? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we tried to bring you on earlier, and then you had a bunch of background noise. You didn't start talking. We couldn't hear you. We'll try. I'm going to put you on hold. And then, again, you're going to be on hold for a little bit, and then we'll try to bring you on in the next segment, okay? I think this is the guy that said he was from Mexico on your chat. It sounds like that. But we're going to see.
He said what he wanted to hit on? No, he didn't say specifically.
Earlier he wanted to talk about history in elementary schools and stuff like that.
Okay.
Heck yeah, people are like, man, I want to hear more of that. Let's just an hour of Kev singing. Let's do that one. If you want that, I actually have a YouTube channel kind of for that.
Yeah, if he starts singing Negro spirituals, I'm out. I'm not about to get depressed.
Yeah, well, what's some other ones? I know they had a lot from like the Underground Railroad bred a lot of good music, a lot of good protest songs. Got about a minute and a half. Yeah, I did see somebody else earlier when I was telling my story say that like white people were slaves too. Every race had slaves. And I understand that the assignment I was describing was specifically about the Civil War, learning about the American Civil War. And so I did learn in some of my classes a little bit about like when I did a European history class at one point in high school, we talked about slavery of white cultures and stuff. I consider my education was relatively not woke. It depended on the teacher. I had some that kind of were, but for the most part, not very woke. But in terms of that assignment, yes, I understand that white people were slaves too, but that was about the American Civil War, in which in America, the only actual slaves, I mean, because there were indentured servants, which you could argue in some ways were also slaves and stuff like that. But in terms of the American Civil War, the topic was African-American slavery. So. Okay, 8 seconds. And you have that caller.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Cities 92.9. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at same number, 309-451-9299. Come check me out live in studio where I can interact with you and you interact with me. Going over to YouTube, typing in Modern Renaissance Man, and you will see a thumbnail of me pointing at Trump and the people who debated. Also, Philly, which we didn't get a chance to get to yet, but we're going to try to. But before we took the break, you guys heard me going on a rant about this whole notion of how people currently right now are being taught a certain way in school to be nothing more. And I'm talking about blacks, and this also can affect whites too, because they can actually incorporate something there to make white people feel some type of way too, to feel guilty about something that they never did, and have black people feeling as if they're currently slaves right now. Yes, you heard it. They are presenting history in school to make black people feel and think and act a certain way. And you can tell based off of what you guys see through videos, through TikTok, You can see it all across YouTube and Instagram, all types of different things of black people getting on there, and they're so-called educating other black people or of what we black people were and who our ancestors were, and we were kings and we were queens. They push all that on there. We had all this. And my thing is they get pissed off at me because I say, what about what we are now or who we are to be right now? Oh, it's different. We can't do it now. Why? Because them white folks, oh, here we go. Here we go. So what I did before we took the segment, before we took that break, is I was going in because I really want people to understand that if you are not doing what you want to do as a middle-aged adult, that is nobody's fault but yours. There is no white person that's stopping you from doing it. There is no critical race theory that's in all of these different workplaces that's keeping black people from entering in and working and becoming a dang on vice president, executive, becoming a director is not keeping you guys from doing any of those things. But there is a mentality out there that will tell you that it exists. It is a mentality out now. Am I saying racism don't exist? No, I'm not saying that. But to the level of what they're trying to get you guys to believe that it does, that doesn't exist. There are other people out there besides myself that have high-paying jobs. They have high positions. They're directors. They are vice presidents. They are CEOs. They're doctors. We have become, as black people, we have become every type of profession that white people have. And this was before y'all so-called saying they let us know. There were times post-slavery, black people were increasing in 100-folds in becoming pharmacists, doctors, nurses, blacksmiths, pharmacists. This was without white people. It got to the extent to where they were doing so well that they actually were publishing a magazine where they said black people are becoming a new middle class. Now, we were doing all those things, but they don't tell y'all that. That's what you should be asking your school. Post-slavery. But oh no, they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to show you how we were more than just there to get beat and sexually assaulted and sodomized and whipped. There's more to us than just that, black people. So what happens is that they got y'all so caught up in y'all brains and in y'all mind, they teach you a certain way. They have taught y'all to become victims. No, they don't have to physically enslave you anymore. They can mentally enslave you. And guess what slaves couldn't do? They couldn't leave. That's why right now you can't move. That's why right now you feel like you can't go and do what it is that you want to do, because they have gotten you in your mind to think that there's some force out there that's going to keep you from escaping. All day long I would hear this in the hood. And it got so crazy. In the hood, in the projects, I would hear older guys that look just like me going, man, we just trying to get out of the hood, man. Man, we trying to get away from this crap, man. We just trying to make it out of here, man. I'm just trying to make it to 25, man. I'm just trying to do something with myself. I got to get out of the hood, man. I would hear them say this. And I would sit there and wonder, why aren't they leaving? And they would tell me it's because of this white man. No, them white folk. That's all they would tell me. White folk. White folk would keep this. White folks doing this. White folks doing that. No, man, you try to go and do this, them white folks ain't going to let you. Heck, when I got all them letters from college, shout out to my great mentor, Dr. Wendell Becton, a black doctor, a phenom doctor, a doctor who has achieved greatest thing, man, World Series rings with the Cardinals, black man. He broke down to me what college and everything was. I'm going to college, ladies and gentlemen. Guess what the hood told me? I'm not going to say their names. Guess what the hood told me? The hood told me, no, man, college ain't for no black folks, man. College ain't for no black folks. College for white, because white people ain't going to let you. You going to get in there, man, they're going to sit there and do this, man. They're going to purposely make you fail. You going to try to go to college, man. They're going to purposely do things to make it seem like you didn't get the right grade. Had me scared to death. But guess what? The type of person that I am, my mom would always say, boy, when you was little, you was hard-headed. You just had to find out. Even though somebody would tell you, you just had to find out. And guess what I did? I had to go and really find out. They told me, man, don't you mess with man. No, ain't no sense of you trying to get no wife, man. You ain't no sense of you trying to get married, man. Ain't no sense. These women all out here, they all ratchet, man. Ain't no good women out here. No, man, you might as well just do is just spread your seed, man. Spread your seed. But guess what? I didn't listen. I was not about to be a part of this whole thing where some force was out there was keeping me from doing the things that I wanted to do. And guess what? Here we are, 30-some plus years later. Those same guys, they are still in the projects up in Chi-Town. They're still in the projects in Decatur. They are still in the hood in Decatur, Illinois. The same ones who were saying, I'm just trying to get out of here. I'm telling you, it is a huge thing that's been brought on you. And if you really thought about it and you really looked at it for what it was, that, ladies and gentlemen, that's the real racism. The ones who are trying to keep you from advancing, who are scaring you and putting fear and propaganda in your face to keep you from advancing, that's the real racism. The ones who are trying to keep you from getting out of the mental plantation that you are on right now and pushing you to do and be what you want to do, those are the ones, that's the real racism. I don't care if it's coming from a black person or white. If it's coming from a black person, that's your sellout. You got black people in politics. You got black people all in these high positions. You got black people that are actors, black people who are rappers, black people who are in the NBA, and they will tell you, we struggling, we oppressed, we can't even do, y'all millionaires, billionaires. Y'all got y'all own brand of shoes and clothing lines, and y'all gonna sit there and say, black people can't get ahead. That's crazy. That's your sellout. Not Ty Smith, who is telling you you can do anything you want to. Just go and do it. There's resources out there that you can reach out to put you on the right path to get where you need to get. But you got these celebrities who are way higher than money and all that stuff than I am. They're telling you we can't make it. We can't do anything. And that's why, shout out to the NFL for not putting that Kaepernick race baiting back on the NFL. He's saying the NFL is nothing but a slave thing. They treat us like slaves. They nothing but slave masters. That's what the NFL is. But then he's writing a letter. Can I please come and at least play on y'all practice team? The heck out of here. Anyway, y'all folks, I know I'm fired up on this. I'm so sorry. We got 2 calls on the line right now. We getting ready to address one of those calls right now. Caller, you on Season 92.9. This is Ty.
Hey, my name is Heaven. I'm from Boston. I keep listening to you sometimes, and it's unbelievable the things that you say. Why? My question is why you categorize one video, and then you explore the video for your personal gain, and then you generalize the video like everybody think the same way as the video illustrates.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Let me give you an example. Let's say one black person yell and scream how racist the white man is, how crazy it is. Why are you using that video? Goes viral, and then you say that every black person thinks the same way as the person that was in the video.
Who said that?
Well, that's what you said.
No, who said that? Who said so whatever video you're talking about, first you would have to give me an example or the particular video that you're referring to, because I highly doubt it if out of my mouth I say this is how every black person thinks.
You do.
You never, sir, I will give you 10,000. I will write you a $10,000 check if you can find one video where I say this is how all black people think. You won't find it. Goodbye. Not sorry I'm trying to troll on there. You had no substance in what you was talking about. And this is why, again, this is why we screen the calls. Because I don't know what you were talking about. You couldn't give me a specific video, but since you were so sure of what you was talking about, you couldn't give me a specific video in where I said what you said. All you're going to do is go back and forth with me and say, oh, yes, you did. Yes, you did. I heard it myself. Yes, you did. But you can't tell me the title of the video or the name of the video. And then whatever video you said it went viral and I used for my own gain, again, sir, you couldn't give me the title of the video. But you were so sure what you were talking about. Troll. Nice try. Didn't work. All right, caller, you on Cities 92.9. Who am I speaking with?
My name is Billy. I'm calling from Idaho.
Oh, shout out to Idaho. What you got, sir?
Hey, first off, I want to say you're doing some great work. I really enjoy your content that I'm seeing on YouTube. And I was just listening to some of the stuff you were saying, you know, as far as slavery goes. And I've been thinking this for a while, and I want to know if you agree with me or not, but slavery is alive and well in the United States today.
Yep.
We don't have the we're not picking cotton, and we're not picking tobacco and all that kind of hard labor. It's the master, I think, or one of the masters, is George Soros, trickling down, basically brainwashing a lot of the youth, getting them all riled up so they can get their own agenda going, basically.
True. I completely agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, and one other thing before I go to, just one thing that just seems to outrage me every time when it comes to the discussion of slavery is I never hear any talking about the slave trade that goes on in the Middle East, where you have people from like Saudi Arabia and Iraq, Iran, wherever in the Middle East, taking slaves from northern African countries and putting them to all kinds of hard labor. Is it okay because it's not white people doing this? I don't get it. It's still slavery and it's still wrong.
Wow. Plain and simple. Hey, appreciate you for calling in and dropping those jewels on us, man. Hey, don't forget, call back again tomorrow. Kev is in here with me right now. Make sure you tune in to him. Check him out because you can call in and do the same thing. We love when people call in like you do. Drop those gems for us, sir. Shout out again to you all the way from Idaho, guys. Shout out to the caller, ladies and gentlemen, who dropped those gems on us. We're going to hit on those subjects he just talked about when we come back after this break. Be right back.
Sorry about that. Like with that one caller,
I love that.
Slipped through the cracks.
No, I'm glad he did it though. I'm glad. It's just to me, it's just one good way of showing people like, this is what we deal with. But at the same time, again, if he was able to show me a video, the title of the video, whatever it was, couldn't know.
Yep. I don't know. It's off topic from this one, but you got to see. I posted a video about it yesterday. There was a woke church in Wyoming, where it was a female pastor at the church. First off, and she goes on a rant about how pride parades are like heaven, and heaven is like pride parades.
What?
Yeah, seriously, true thing. At a church. Yeah. You have to check it out. Do a reaction on your channel because it's crazy.
Holy smokes! You gotta be kidding me.
Mm-hmm.
At a church?
Mm-hmm.
She said the what?
Pride parades were like heaven because it's inclusive and everybody's gonna be there and there's glitter. That's what she said. I'm not even kidding you. That's what she said.
Okay, there's gonna be glitter. Yeah. No, that's ember from burning off of bodies in hell. That's what.
I said it. I mean, we talked because I had Kat in and we talked about it, and I was like, first off, pride parades are not inclusive. I have attempted to be at pride events and stuff to interview people and talk to people, and they are not very inclusive of me. They tell me I can't stand on sidewalks, and that I'm not, and that I can't.
At that.
Yep, exactly. And so there's that, along with the fact that heaven's not inclusive. If you're like an awful person and you do terrible things, if you're like Jeffrey Dahmer, you're probably not going to heaven.
No. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, here at Cities 92.9. I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and you're listening to my show, Cancel This. The phone number here is area code 309-451-9299, and you can text the show at that same number. Also, if you'd like to check me out in the studio live, go over to YouTube and type in Modern Renaissance Man. You will see me live in the studio with me interacting with you and you interacting with me. Now, I appreciate that, folks, if you did that. So before we took the break, you heard the caller that called in, and he gave some specific names of the people who are doing this current slavery right now. And he mentioned Soros, which everybody knows that is somebody that's behind it. But y'all, it goes deeper than that. If you look and go and research who are all these people that's behind these networks, you will find a lot of people are in bed with a whole lot of these crazy folks that's all about globalism, plain and simple. Now, one thing that I do like that the caller said, shout out again, all the way from Idaho, he's repping them really well, is the current slavery that's going on right now. The current slavery that's going on right now. We do all, matter of fact, it's more people that are slaves right now than it was when there was slavery going on. Did y'all know that? There's still slavery going on in at least 20 countries right now. I can't name them all off. Don't ask me. If I had my little notes with me, I would be able to name them off to you guys. Still legally going on right now as we speak. Right? It's still going on right now. There is a type of slavery that's going on right now that's coming straight through that southern border that they don't want y'all to talk about, or they don't want you to know about. If you don't believe me, all you got to do is watch this movie that they try to completely damn from the theaters called The Sound of Freedom. That shows you the biggest slave trade that's going on right now. It's still going on right now. But y'all minds are still set on the coming in chains and somebody saying, I'll take the strong black Negro right there. I'll take him. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the enslavement of humans. Children, to be exact. That's what we're talking about. And they're not going to, try to talk about this right now. I guarantee you there's a good chance. Just because I'm talking about this right now, YouTube literally demonetized this live. Guaranteed or your money back. They do not want you talking about things like this because there's a whole lot of people that may work for YouTube, work for Google, work at Disney. They all have their hands in this. They all are a part of this. You guys think that this stuff that's going on in the southern border has everything to do with these people coming over and taking our jobs? There's been an argument for like the past at least 30 years. Those people coming across legally, they're going to take jobs from Americans. That's what I've been hearing a whole lot. I wasn't into politics, but I heard people saying that all the time. They're stealing our jobs. They're taking our jobs. No, ladies and gentlemen. The reason why that border is open like it is right now, because folks, look who's coming across the border. It ain't just Mexicans. It's a lot of black people. Yeah, I said black. Well, Ty, why would some black people come across? I'm talking about they coming from everywhere. They coming from Africa. They are coming from Haiti. They're coming from Cuba. They're coming from Brazil. Y'all, yeah, black people. Yeah, Ty, yeah, black people. You do know black people in Brazil, right? You do know that Brazil almost had half of all black folks that came from Africa. You do know that, right? Yeah, Portugal got like almost 40% or more of all the blacks during the Atlantic slave trade. America got like what, barely 1%? But we act like America had every slave in the whole goddamn world. America's greatest sin, but Portugal. Yeah, those people are making their way from the south, coming across that southern border. But the biggest thing that they are bringing across there are children. It's all about them bringing those children. They told us that the kids that are coming across these borders, they're putting them in special schools because these kids don't have identifiers. They don't have parents with them. So they're putting these in these schools where they can be watched over. So you got hundreds of kids all being so-called processed and put into a school, right? They're being put into a school. We don't know who these kids are. We don't know any of their names. And we don't know where they're going. But they're being processed. What do y'all think is happening to those kids? Come on now, what do you really think is happening to those kids? They're being trafficked. Right now, if y'all don't believe me, guaranteed or your money back, go and look up Florida right now. Florida is like one of the few states in America that just keeps on broadcasting every time they make a huge sex traffic ring bust. They broadcast it. And what's crazy is a great number of those people work at Disneyland. They work at Disneyland. Y'all don't believe Ty. Look it up right now. These police officers and these sheriffs, them are all on there constantly showing you guys this stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, if you think for 1 minute that the government is not involved in this, you are highly deceived. Why? Yes, you heard me. Your government is highly involved in this. America is one of the biggest, or if not the biggest, purchaser of human trafficking. I'm about to get my channel shut down. You heard me say it again. I'll say it again. America is one of the biggest purchasers, if not the biggest purchaser of children being trafficked. So now, I know we talking this whole huge thing about Biden them and a policy with the southern border. Come on now, what do you think they're letting that go on for? The kids, they come up to me and they rub my legs and his legs are hairy. The kids come up to me. Come on, man. Come on now. Yeah, our government, ladies and gentlemen. Go watch the movie called The Sound of Freedom. He says a lot about it. Matter of fact, the guy that does The Sound of Freedom, go follow him on his YouTube. Go follow him on Instagram if he's not banned. The guy is exposing a lot of people that are involved in this. They are highly involved in this. Who cares about these kids? Who cares about these children? If y'all don't believe anything I'm saying right now, you better believe this. The government is not for you. They have their hands deep in this. And it's a reason that's behind it. It's a huge reason behind it. And y'all might think I'm going off the edge of this. I do not care because I never cared about anybody think about me anyway. When it all comes down to it, it's very satanic. Very satanic. Children's sacrifice is one of the biggest things that was going on back in the day, and it still goes on today. Those children are being sacrificed, and that's why even right now it's being sacrificed unto the entity that they serve. Look up Bohemian Grove. Uh-oh. Look it up. Oh, y'all didn't think I knew about that, huh? I've been knowing about that for at least 15, 20-something years. Bohemian Grove, look it up. Look up who was there and what they were doing. Look what happened when a certain somebody went and questioned some of those officials that was at Bohemian Grove. Look it up. Child sacrifice is a huge thing. That's why they do it today. They call it an abortion. Y'all thought it had some y'all thought that the officials who are pushing policy through and legislation through for y'all to have these abortions, y'all thought that they were doing it because they really want you to be on your feet better. They want you to be financially more stable. Oh, they don't want you to feel like you made a mistake. No, they know that it's a child sacrifice, and they're having you do it and sacrifice. Uh-oh, the police sirens are coming. They're coming for me, ladies and gentlemen. They know it's a child sacrifice, and they are pretty much having you do it. But you need to ask yourself, if there's child sacrifice going on, who are they sacrificing it unto? It's been going on since biblical days, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing has changed. Kevin made a comment earlier, said there's nothing new under the sun. It's not changed. Just because it's done all in a nice, sterile, meticulous, prestigious way with a doctor doing it, they're still getting you to sacrifice your child. That's why they want to change the definitions around and not even refer to it as a child. Now it's just a clump of cells. What's wrong with killing a clump of? It's nothing but a clump of cells. It's nothing but a clump of cells. Well, you know what? There's something on your heart that keeps your heart beating. From the day that your heart start beating, those clumps of cells, they rely on sugar or glucose. They rely on sugar, and these cells contract to keep your heart beating. Those are just a clump of cells. How about we get rid of those on you right now? You don't need that. It's just a clump of. Now, you also would tell me that those clump of cells, or that clump of cells that's in you, is like a parasite because it's taking your body's resources. Well, guess what? Those clump of cells that's around every last one of us alive right now, those clump of cells that's around our heart, that's contracting, guess what it needs? It's taken from you too. It needs sugar. It needs sugar to give it energy, that gives off energy to keep your heart beating. How about we get rid of those clump of cells on you, since it's stealing your resources from your body? This is what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you believe that there are evil entities and good entities, that's not my concern, because those entities do not care, especially the evil ones. Long as you keep on carrying out their deeds, they're not going to bother you. That's why they praise you when you do it. That's why come on now, just think about what happened during the pandemic. You really had to try to incentivize people to get this clot shot, the Fauci ouchie, hokey pokey. You really had to incentivize people you really had to push out, oh, we'll give you some free food. We'll give you a free brothel. Yeah, they were doing that. We'll give you this. Just get it. Oh, don't worry about it. You don't have to pay for your abortion. We do it for free. You don't have to tell your mom and dad. We do it for free. All these things they want to freely give you to come and have done to yourself. You think it's for the betterment of you. You thought wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys all listening in to the show today. I appreciate the calls, and I really thank the people that called in that I was not able to get to. We are so sorry about that. We hope to catch you next time. You definitely can call in tomorrow with Kev and explain those things you want to say to me today. But with that being said, I hope and pray that every last one of you guys have food, shelter, and clothing. And I pray that every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Peace.
Bloomington Normal's most complete radio news starts now with Fox Radio News on Cities 92.9, WRBW, Colfax, Bloomington. It's 5 o'clock.
This is Jill Nato in Washington.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy dropped GOP demands for deep spending cuts and managed to get a temporary spending plan passed by both Democrats and moderate Republicans. The plan's going to increase disaster aid by $16 billion.